particularly when you're
we are
recovering
live.
from surgery.
Welcome to our media briefing today and public access. We welcome those who are watching this over the internet and invite you to send in your questions. We've had a little bit of debate this morning on the floor, debating the decision last year with Count My Vote. We have Senator Bramble here if there's any questions on that issue, and we'll open it up now to the media for any questions that you have.
Senator Bramble, you might not be able to answer this for me, but I spoke with James Evans after the vote went down, and he was telling me something about how the party can't even become a registered political party with SB 54 changes. Like, not just a qualified political party, but they can't even become a registered political party. Do you have any response on that? Because I've talked to as many people as I can even possibly imagine, and they've all told me many different things about what they can and can't do.
I would rely on the opinion of the Attorney General and the State Elections Office, because the State Elections Office, that's the office that is charged with administering and enforcing our election laws. And both the Attorney General and the State Elections Office, through Lieutenant Governor and Mark Thomas, have very clearly indicated that they believe the party could comply.
What do you expect from the party at this point?
Well, there's ongoing litigation. Certainly, any organization or individual that disagrees with the work that we do up here can seek redress through the courts. I'm personally of the belief that Senate Bill 54 will withstand the judicial challenge and will be the election law of the state of Utah as we move forward.
You seem to be, voting against this bill kind of seems to be going against what the party would like the legislature to do. Obviously, you're not beholden to the party in any way, but do you expect any backlash from the delegates and from other people in the party who see that you guys are kind of fighting them?
Well, I think that the discussions will be ongoing. Interestingly, in Provo, we had a town hall meeting. We call it Eggs and Issues. We meet frequently on Saturday mornings, and this topic came up. And there wasn't the animus that you would expect. Many of the individuals were delegates, both county and state. They understood that the reason, look, if you only print or remember one thing in the entire debate about Senate Bill 54, Senate Bill 54 was intended to preserve the caucus system, because the initiative would have done away with the caucus system entirely. Many of us, myself included, are products of the delegate caucus convention system. In my case, I've been elected 4 times and I've not gone to a primary once. So I've gotten over 60% of that delegate vote. We wanted to preserve the caucus for some very real reasons. The accountability of reporting back to citizens that are fully engaged in being watchdogs on what we do and study the policies or whatever. There's something very healthy about having to report back to those delegates. And many that supported Senate Bill 54 did so for that one simple reason: we wanted to preserve the caucus system in Utah. That's why we supported it. That's why we're defending it today. The idea of delaying it, that was part of the negotiation. You've all printed or written stories or published stories about that. Part of the compromise dealt with the timing on when 54 would be effective, and to vote for a delay would directly violate that agreement. And many of us believe that an agreement is an agreement, and you hold to it.
Any other questions on the Count My Vote issue? Anything coming in from our viewers?
Not yet.
Other questions?
Do we anticipate debating Senator Shiozawa's Medicaid bill this afternoon?
I anticipate that will come up. And I'm also looking down, and depending on how long that takes, Senator Van Tassel's gas tax bill is right about 5 below that. So it will be a fun-filled afternoon.
Yeah, the fun-filled caucus too. What's on the agenda there?
Senator Okerlund?
Yeah, always. We're always busy in there. We're actually working in a lot of different bills. I know Senator Henderson has a bill that she is going to be talking about. It's the 1-800 contacts bill that she's been working on. We have actually State School Board, Dave Crandwell, going to come in and talk to us about some education issues, funding issues. And some other bills that are going to be discussed that are starting to kind of move through the process.
Senator, there are two bills that were on the agenda.
Senator Brambl's going to be presenting.
Political process, it passed out of committee, the bill that would increase transparency for in-kind contributions from corporations, that would tighten that down, that would remove a challenge. Last year we passed a law about corporations that contribute in the political arena have to disclose all of their donors. That creates a real problem with many nonprofits, so we're cleaning that up. But the primary impetus of the bill, what the media reports is that it does away with the lobbyist badges, but the real meat of the bill is it increases transparency by requiring in-kind contributions to be disclosed within 7 days to the political entity, whether it's a candidate, a pick, or a PAC. We're going to discuss that in caucus.
Yeah.
We're also going to discuss, now that Senate Bill 43 has been voted on, we're going to talk about technical corrections. There are some timing issues and some technical corrections that the Elections Office has asked us to consider in a bill. That bill was just numbered, I think, yesterday or early this morning. We're going to talk about should we take care of some technical deadline issues within the election law now that we have not, we voted to go forward with 54, not to delay it.
Along those lines, I took a look at that bill. It doesn't address plurality at all. Is that even an option on the table?
It is not in that bill. Plurality is something that we recognized last year when we had the unusual Sunday press conference. When we announced the compromise, everyone at that press conference recognized that plurality is something that we will be discussing. But keep in mind, plurality has been part of our electoral process in the general election for decades. And the debate about should we deal with plurality in a primary, there are some compelling reasons to consider it. If you look at what's happened in some other states.
I saw Dan McKay had a bill on body cams, police use of body cams, and I think it said in there that the footage would be designated as a private record. Is that something different than what you're working on, or is that the same thing?
I haven't read Representative McKay's bill yet. The stakeholders on the, he's here, on the mystery bill. We're meeting this afternoon at 4 o'clock, and I appreciate the coverage. Notwithstanding the headline on that article, it was actually very well done in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. The Media Coalition, Public Safety, League of Cities and Towns, Counties, a broad group of stakeholders. We're meeting at 4 o'clock this afternoon to continue the discussion. Whether we can get there on a statutory framework for grandma on body cams, we may want to send that to interim. I don't know yet, but that's part of what we're going to be. We're going to coalesce around the grandma bill this afternoon, and whether we find agreement on that or not, I don't know.
Because there are several other provisions for that you talked about last week.
There are appeals and
Right.
Complaints under the Business Opportunity Registration Act, et cetera.
All right, no more questions?
We have one.
Okay.
Texted in. Jason Williams texted in
Hi, Jason.
up in Logan. How do things look on time? Will there be a lot of bills not heard? Is the House behind again like last year?
And Jason, when did you quit beating your wife?
Well, as we look and compare last year, the House is ahead of where they were last year substantially. So they've been moving their bills through, and we've been pretty efficient with House bills. And I don't see a lot of difference as far as what took place last year and this year. We're probably headed in the same trajectory. All right. Thanks, Jason, for that. question, and tune in tomorrow for more fun at the Senate.